Oh, hey, Mark, how are you?
Fine.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Okay. Everybody have a decent weekend?
More or less, it was warm. The sun came out.
It's gorgeous right now.
Oh my
I know.
goodness.
I was just
I
saying to
gotta,
Heather, I went out in my yard and cut a little of that
Yeah.
forsythia back.
This is when you cut the roses back, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
no, I don't have that problem because believe it or not, the deer are eating them.
Oh,
oh,
really?
Yes, I was blaming the squirrels all these years. And now that I have a Ring doorbell, I see that it's the deer climbing
dear.
3 steps onto my porch.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
they're
there's a,
bold.
garden up there, and they're eating the rose bushes. And they're eating the stuff out of the bucket, the flower pots. So
Well,
squirrels are off the hook, but
yeah, we have a major project going on besides the battlefield and all of that in Randolph Woods. It's a nature preserve, about
mhm.
40 acres, and we got substantial grant funding to really make it a substantial park to enjoy.
Yeah, I've heard a little
And
bit about this.
and
Yeah.
as part of the planning, we had experts come and assess the uplands, the woods,
Uh-huh.
and basically they said the woods are dying because of the deer.
No kidding.
Yeah, because they're eating all of the natives, and nothing new is replenishing the woods. Basically, it's all invasive material. So part of the project has been to put deer fence up.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what they did at the parts of the Brandywine thing on Waterloo Road. They put, and at Jenkins they also put deer fence up.
I'd like to know that because we've got some it's not a fun thing to do,
Hmm.
Mm,
and a good percentage of that preserve is borders Willistown, residents.
yeah, yeah.
So all of a sudden they have a deer fence in their backyard.
Hmm.
I
Uh,
think that was some of the scuttlebutt that I was hearing, and I'm like, there's got to be more to this story, and as always, there is.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's very interesting.
All right, so
Pretty,
it's
pretty, yeah.
12:03. I think most of you know me, Angela Scully, working as an outreach officer with the Chester County Community Foundation on America 250. And Heather, my colleague, Heather Reifer. Heather?
Hello, how are you all? So we're gonna what we've started doing in our last round of Zooms is turning it all over to you all first, and then we'll bring you up. We don't have as many updates as we've had in the past. We do have a couple new resources we can point you to. Um, but we mostly want to hear from you. So what I'd like to do is go around the room and have you introduce yourself and your organization again, and let us know what your status is on your event planning for 250. Specifically, if you're doing a Dare to Declare, how, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Dare to Declare declaration readings too, because we want to know how we can help you. So,
And
and one of the biggest questions we have now is like, what help do you need most now? And that could be from us, it could be from the community, whatever it might be, and maybe we can help you out with that.
and
So,
because it's our priority to make Dare to Declare a focal point of your event as opposed to a side thing, we
right.
want it to be an important part of the event since that is what we're celebrating here in this year. So let's start with Ken Anderson from Cheney University. Ken?
Yes, good morning, everyone. I was just about to put in the chat, give my apologies that I won't be able to stay on this call because I've got a conflict with another meeting. But Heather, when you mentioned Dare to Declare, yes, I definitely wanted to kind of weigh in on that part. So
Excellent.
yep. So Cheney University, we would love to host or do a Dare to Declare, excuse me. The consideration might be that we were looking at an October timeframe. I don't know if that is outside of
That's
the
Not a problem
absolutely
for us.
fine.
okay.
Yeah, spread them
Okay.
out.
Yeah, yeah. So we're trying to do that, and the concept is that we would actually host it in Philadelphia proper.
Oh,
And the connection would be there's a lot of historical connections, but again, Cheney University, again, as it was founded, as I said earlier, 1837, Institute of Color for Colored Youth in the city of Philadelphia. When I think about how to resonate that story or how to amplify that story, the thought is we should probably have an activation in Philadelphia. So that's kind of what's behind that. The idea is to literally, there's a historic marker at Ninth and Bainbridge in Philadelphia, where we would use as the actual site. And we're working on figuring out how to get various stakeholders and students engaged in the community to be a part of that. So it's again very not conceptual in the sense that obviously Dare to Declare is solid, but we're still trying to figure out how we would want to execute on our thoughts around it. When you mention help, I guess for us or for me, I'd be interested to know how we can really spread the word, because awareness is a big challenge that we have
Hmm.
um, in general. So I'd be interested to hear that.
mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay. Rob, how about you? How did your thing with the
Thank you,
TE school
Ken.
district go?
Yep.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ken. We'll get definitely.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great meeting.
Okay.
Apologies
Right.
again.
No worries.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Onward to October.
Hi, Rob Williams here, two different historic commissions. So we're trying to take inventory of, who's committing. The Tredyffrin Heritage Center in Chesterbrook is committed. They wonderfully received a grant from the Community Foundation. So
Mhm.
they're looking actually to mimic the call for speakers that I guess Valley Forge uh, Park
Oh
A casting
yes.
Alliance.
call
Yeah,
Valley
that was
Forge
a
put
Yeah.
out. That was clever.
So they're and they have two people who are focused on delivering that. We had heard that the Baptist Church in the Great Valley was doing one, but we contacted them and they said, nope, that's not what they're doing. So that was um, no longer on our list.
oh
Um,
interesting. St. David's is. Um,
St. David's is doing a big one, yeah.
yeah.
And I think they've been in contact with you all.
Yes.
Since the beginning.
Yeah. Um, We had a good meeting with the head of curriculum, social studies curriculum on Friday. We did a driving tour of Tredyffrin, talked about when we would do a Dare to Declare. So that hasn't been settled, but
The
Hmm.
uh,
school district.
with the school district, yeah.
Okay.
So, and there we're talking about both the high school level and the middle school level. We're very conscious of the school year ends, in June,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that there's not a overlap there.
And there's a
Uh,
lot of APs and AP
yeah, the high
season
school's
starts in
hard,
May.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and then we on the historic commission want to host one, and we really haven't settled on a place or a date. Um, but we have access to the park department of the township, so we haven't done that. So I think I have kind of so we have three people who I would call are trained, who have gone to your Dare to Declare training, one at Valley Forge Park, and then a couple of them went to the demonstration, at the theaters.
Hmm.
And I think we have the same idea. We had a good conversation about how to do the outreach, but we came up with civic groups and church groups, and we really haven't figured out a a proactive go-to. So I think we feel prepared to support, but we don't really have the sell. How to determine which groups are the most likely to host and then go sell. So I think that's where we
I
are.
think Heather just put a link in the chat to Valley Forge today about it contains the Valley Forge Park Alliance's recruiting poster for speakers.
Yeah.
And I thought it was actually pretty clever to do that.
Yeah. One
Um,
thing I'll say about that group, they are highly tuned to curating volunteers
Mhm.
and organizing events, which is not something that the historical commission is used to doing, and it's not in our direct swim lane. So I think that's why we're struggling. We have a meeting Thursday night with our commission, so this will come up as a topic. So
So volunteers are a definite need for your events this summer? Is that what you're saying, Rob?
yeah, I mean
Or one of the many.
we're in the catch 22. We have this great thing called Dare to Declares, but it's you have to identify an event and a time, and then you go get your volunteers because then they understand what they're volunteering for. You have
Sure,
to know how much time they're going to commit, how much effort.
absolutely.
So I think just in general, we're trying to do X plus one. We're trying to get, and I've said we want to have host 6 of these things in
Hmm.
Tredyffrin, and one of them would be directly done by the historical commission. So.
And are you thinking 4th of July time,
No,
summertime?
no, not the Heritage Center at Dupertai. They are on the 4th of July,
Hmm.
in
That
advance of the
makes sense.
fireworks in the park.
Right. They're
Um,
doing it at noon.
yeah. But no, none of the others are planned yet. So
Hmm. Because as I quote our boss over there at the Community Foundation, it's here. So we really need to work on getting your speakers. Um,
yeah,
and you can check out like Stacy, for example. She's in Easttown, but she's a really fabulous resource, as you know, Stacy Ballard.
yeah. She and I haven't connected since we both traveled, and I haven't been over there yet.
So you want 6 individual readings of the Declaration throughout the year, Rob?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
Okay, that
I
makes more
look at
sense.
this May through, end of summer period, and
hmm
the most is trying to stimulate others to host their own. I will say,
Sure.
Janice, who some of you have met, she succeeded in getting one planned for her book group at the YMCA, the mainline, Upper Mainline Y. I don't know
hmm
how many people that involves, but that's, kind of a closed club, and they're going to do it as a closed event, not an open event.
Okay, okay. And
Interesting.
how about you?
Oh, I'm unmuted. How about that? So I know, I'm sorry that I don't come with more information, but I know Michelle Vinson, who is our education programming manager, she is talking about doing something with Dare to Declare for NHD, National History.
Yeah, I've been talking to her
Okay.
directly about
Okay, so
that.
you have
So,
more information than I do then.
well,
Heather. So that's March 26th and 27th. And then I don't know yet which schools have signed up because tomorrow, I think, is the deadline for,
deadline. I
yeah,
figured probably there's
yeah,
only things are fluid right now. So,
yeah,
are you
yeah.
still looking for judges for National History
We're
Day, Ann?
we're filled up. She
You're
just,
filled up?
yeah,
Yay, good.
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah.
That is fantastic. So
Mhm.
yeah, just so everyone knows, what I've been talking about with Michelle is having the Coatesville version of the Declaration reading on video playing. I'm not clear yet if it's going to be played before the ceremony at the end or just be
It's
available on a
National History Day
screen.
they're talking about, by the
Yeah.
way, for those.
Um, a screen during the intermittent parts of the 2 days when it seems right. But
We could have it on a loop
yeah,
because there's
exactly,
students
exactly.
milling around the building throughout the day. And so oftentimes we've talked about having the documentaries on
hmm
display. So that would be a nice loop to have that along with the documentaries.
So
There-
the part of our goal here too is to there's been a challenge of sorts issued by Coatesville Area High School to that other high schools should host their own Spirit Weeks and declaration readings. So it's pretty interesting. We'll see how it goes with that, but
So,
at
Rob,
any
they've
rate,
thrown down the gauntlet.
they've thrown down the gauntlet, but on and they did such a fabulous job with the video. We wanted other schools to see what they accomplished there. So
And the hope here is that Rob Conestoga they always participate in an NHD. So maybe the students take it back to the school and start eliciting excitement. So
You're muted.
What
You're muted. Yeah, good.
what day is History Day?
March
26th,
26th and
yeah.
27th. Conestoga would be on Friday the 27th.
Friday the 27th. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Before I turn it over to the Paoli Malvern group, let's hear from the Colonial Pennsylvania Farmstead. Hey, Sarah.
Hi. So I'm actually Paige. Sarah is our executive director. She's usually the one
Okay.
doing this. I'm starting to take over for this. I'm the education and program manager. I just started this past fall. So for the 250th, we are kind of a Revolutionary Era site in general, every year. So it's kind of like our mission every year. But this year we're kind of really leaning into tying together with other community partners, but also really leaning into the 250th and the declaration and things like that. So we have some really cool events. We have one where the filming of the Common Good, the ladies who like found the nation, I believe the title is. They filmed on our site. So we will be doing a day where we focus on flax, which was important in one of the scenes, and have that showing in our gift shop. I believe we're still for form, so we have to figure out where we can show like videos. We can't really.
Sure.
Right. We're also really leaning into like blacksmithing, like forging the revolution, and just really trying to ramp up everything, and make lasting programs. So this is the year where we're showing new programs, starting new programs, and we're really hoping to continue on with it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I would say the only thing we would need help on is we're a nonprofit, so any direction you can point us in towards grants or funding would be amazing. But also anything with like getting information out would be really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
So the Paoli Malvern group. So I know what you're doing, Mark, but I think we're at this point going to talk a little bit about 250. And Hugo, how is the grant? I know you all are writing a grant because you do a parade every year, and plus you have the battlefield. So you have two different opportunities.
Yeah, I have four different groups that I'm representing when I speak here. I think only four. If I forgot one, I'm sorry. So I was just sitting here thinking about talking about the Dare to Declares and realizing that the Historical Commission for Malvern does not have anything set up for the Dare to Declares, but that's because we have other groups that are going to be doing Dare to Declare, so we will most likely help them out. So the first one
Partnering's
is,
always good there, Hugo. You
yeah,
don't have to do these alone.
right. And it's even more because I'm on the boards for four groups. So yeah, it's yes, I just switch hats here. So the first one would be our parade, Memorial Parade, which is always the Sunday after Memorial Day. So it's Sunday, May 31st this year. And
Mhm.
I have spoken with the Upper Mainline Memorial Association. They are the parade committee. They think it's great to do Dare to Declare. I don't know how they are planning on getting people to do that in the commemoration ceremony, whether they're just going to pull scouts and have them read, which is generally what we do, or what the other idea is. We ended up, we'll have a meeting in the next couple of weeks to kind of figure out what that is. But that's the one that I need to write the grant for and just figure out how to word that appropriately, whether I'm going to word it for the Dare to Declare, which is may not be likely, or do it for the event and do that for the grant.
Mhm.
So that's May 31st. And then the other Dare to Declare, or other time that we could do a Dare to Declare, which I'll try to poke Jim Christ on, is the Haley Battlefield Heritage Day,
The Heritage Day. Yeah, I've
which
Right,
wondered
I
is
if
was thinking
something
about
would
that
come
as
out.
well.
Yeah.
And
September 26th. I had to look at the calendar because I had to push it out a week. So that's September 26th. That's an all-day event at the battlefield, coming in through the PMA grounds. So that's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they usually have again, a commemoration ceremony starting around 3:30 or so.
Well, that's
So
what
I'll
I
try to
wondered.
push
The
that.
commemoration ceremony that they do every year, that would be a
Yeah,
perfect time to do
yeah.
a
Exactly. Don't you
declaration
have
of it.
reenactors?
Yes, we will have some reenactors this year because this year is not the big anniversary. It's only 249 for the battle.
Uh-huh.
So next year is the 250th for the battle. So there'll be more stuff. But yes, there will be people dressed up. They do a military timeline for Heritage Day. That's what they do. So
Hmm.
they'll have people from pre-1777 all the way to current times with military vehicles and other apparatus. I know Ben Franklin is usually there with some of his inventions and things like that. And then we have the different wars shown up throughout the era. But that would be a good time to do a Dare to Declare. And then another one to think about, which is not one that I run, but I think I have contact information for them, is on September 20th for the last 3 years. I believe it's the Sons of the American Revolution
Mm.
have done a commemoration ceremony at around 7 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock, at the PMA grounds. And I think I need to talk to them and maybe they would be willing to do a Dare to Declare at that event as well, even though it would be within days of each other in Malvern. It doesn't matter. It'd be
Sure, sure.
two different groups of people, two different kinds of people, people who like a whole bunch of stuff going on, and then people who just want a smaller ceremony as well. So those are
You
the
might
three
want to
that I'm
also
thinking of.
inquire if it's it's t this is a program that will sunset this year, but you could apply
Yeah.
for 250,
Yes,
your 250
yes. Yeah,
this
Okay.
year
that should
because
point
this
that
program
out.
will be there next year. So you'll
Yeah.
have the money in advance. Think about that. And I
Okay.
did
Yeah, I could
try to
definitely
get a
ask
hold
that.
of Jim. I emailed Jim, but I haven't heard back from him.
He is traveling for something for the battlefield this month, and I don't remember which week he's out of town, but this might be the week that he's not here.
Okay.
But yeah, he we have our meeting on Wednesday this week, so I know he'll be at that, so I can bug him then and ask him then.
Oh yeah, just tell him to reach out. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just really about asking questions at this point.
And for the
yeah, and
parade one, since that one's
mhm,
coming up and you're not quite sure what the format it is for the readings, and this we open this up to everyone too. If you want coaching, we can help supply coaching for the
Correct.
reading in advance, either if it's that morning or a week
oh great,
before, or
okay.
however it'll work.
Yeah, because we set up a the sound system obviously that morning, so that if the coaching is that morning, that would be fine. It's just a question of who's going to be
But you could
reading
do
it
a
and can they
table
receive
read
it.
before.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
yeah.
the week
that's what I
before,
mean.
sit down all
Yeah,
together and do a table read of it. And then the coaching
yeah,
there, and then the sound system is in place and you're testing
yeah.
it out. I think that, and this goes
With
for
with
everybody.
adults, it's probably a little bit easier, but if we are going to get actual scouts to do it, it might be a little more difficult to pull a table read with them. But I know
Mhm.
we can. Again, I'll throw Jim Chris' name in there because he has Zoom capabilities. So even if we do a table read over Zoom, that's better than nothing. So
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay. Lynn and Mark, did you want to pitch in here?
Oh,
You
I
got a
think it's
lot going
great.
on there in
Go
Paoli.
ahead, Lynn. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, Hugo did a wish wall
Oh,
at one of our
mm,
events in
Oh,
February, and so he
Yeah.
could talk about that a little bit too. I know you were thinking about Dare to Declare, but that was another one that was done.
no, no, the wish walls are good to know about as
hmm
well.
yeah, we did.
yeah.
It was Cabin Fever with Parks and Rec. They have done this for the last few years, where they invite groups and events, and it's just something to have people do it inside. And thankfully this year it wasn't this weekend, and I'm saying it that in terms of I think last year it was on a very sunny warm weekend, and that's why nobody came.
Yeah.
This year it was slightly sunny and warm when they had it, so it was probably fewer than we expected. But I did have nearly a dozen people write stuff on the wish wall, and I took photos of it because it was post-it notes, and they were very not sticky post-it notes. So I didn't want them to fall down, so I just took them down and I put them in a pile, so I have them to be able to add someplace at some other time. But yes, we do have photos from that.
Can you
And
send us some
even
of the
now, like
photos?
Yeah,
That would be
with all
great because
that's
we'd
going
like
on
to
in the
show them
world,
all.
yeah, I think people are looking for things like this that help them. And you wouldn't believe how many positive messages people had.
Yeah. Well,
You
I will
know,
say most of the people that were writing messages were like teens and tweens, which was really nice to see that it wasn't adults who were doing this, it was the
that's
kids. I mean,
good.
the
Yeah.
event itself is mostly kid focused, but it's
Hmm.
usually the adults who come into the history center. So I was really impressed we had kids who were willing to help us out with our wish wall. But
Oh, that's
um,
great.
yeah, and I haven't figured out a way to kind of make it permanent. I mean, I know it is indoor in our history center. It's in the township building and our municipal building, so it's secure enough that we could go ahead and do it. But at the same time, I don't want people writing rude remarks or marking up the walls with, pens or something like that. So that's why I'm a little
Right,
nervous on how to
right,
do it
right, right.
permanently or whether it's got to be something we have to do it only
So,
when someone's there.
if you check out our website, we have things you can print off that are cards that say a birthday
Yeah.
wish for America,
Hmm.
something like that, so that people know what it is, and it has a consistency in terms of look and feel for the messages.
I don't know what kind of
Yeah.
response you'll get this way, but the other way to do it is have a box like a don't you would with a donation or a suggestion box.
Oh yeah, we
Have
did
Yeah.
that.
people pop them in the box, and then you can put them up
That was
afterwards.
that
That
was
way
one of the
you
ways
can
I was
vet them
thinking
a
too.
little
Yeah.
bit.
You can curate them. That's a
Yeah.
nice way of putting
Correct,
it.
correct. And then yeah, and then hang them up as long as they have, yeah, passed
I
muster.
think I am always surprised because we've done a number of these. I'm always surprised how few negative ones we get.
I was
Yeah.
really impressed as well, especially because you would think that teens are really snarky, and they weren't. They were
No.
really,
Yeah.
so it was nice.
So Heather
Um,
put in the chat the link to the documents for the wish wall.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, this is
I think
actually
I
for
looked
the
at that.
full bulletin board, but the wish
Yeah,
wall information's all on there. I'm sure
I
everyone's seen
pulled
it
off
at
some
this
of the
point,
images
but
for the bulletin board to go
oh, great.
uh on our wish wall.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and then think the only other thing to mention about Malvern that we forgot to mention before is that we do have a town tour. Ours is June 4th.
June 4th,
I
is it? Okay.
June 4th is ours. I don't know that we would have an occasion to do the Dare to Declare, but the focus is going to be women and minorities, mostly blacks in Malvern, and what they've done
Right.
to help us out. And I realized one of the things I started doing in our last tour was to have something going on at home base where we start because
Mhm.
mostly people are just standing around waiting.
Standing around.
I've had that happen before at other events where I'm just standing around waiting for 10 or 20 minutes until they are able to start the next tour, which is fine. But it's also great to engage people. Last time I had someone from Malvern just come out and tell her wild stories about Malvern growing up as being, winning
Oh,
a
that's
prize and
fabulous.
4 years old being Miss Malvern and all that stuff. So this time I realized
Malvern.
since it's the
So
women in Malvern.
I have a factoid for you. Our
Oh,
colleague Kim
excellent.
Andrews is working with the Amish who want to do a sort of a wagon train kind of thing into Philadelphia. And it
Ooh.
turns out the Amish were living and very active in Malvern. And there's an Amish cemetery. Did you all
Yeah,
know that?
I had no clue about this one. Did you, Hugo?
I do, but I don't think it's actually Malvern Borough. I think it's Willistown where that
Oh,
cemetery is,
Yeah,
but
that I
still very close.
yeah. Yeah, I had
there's a
never
whole
heard
new
that.
Could
slice
How
of
definitely see
history
it.
we
weird.
learned.
I've
Yeah.
always
Oh,
heard
yeah.
about
I
the
definitely can
acres
believe
of
it.
Quakers, but not so much the Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Lynn, did you have anything you wanted to offer?
No, I was just I wanted to make sure that Hugo didn't forget that, and I don't think there's anything else at the moment. Hugo's
Mhm.
our repository for all the events going on. So
Yeah, because I get about we set dates. Oh, I should probably put the dates on there for the paranormal tours. I'll put those on the calendar or to the Google Doc or whatever so you see them.
And I know that see Mark has run to another meeting or something. Um, but I also know that you guys are very active with the battlefield and the wayfinding signage and your plans for um, making everything more accessible and explainable. Did I sum it up, Lynn?
yes, very much so. Yes.
Because sometimes we all know the feeling of going someplace and standing there and saying, "Why am I here?" what happened
Mhm.
here.
Mhm.
So the idea of refreshing the signage and adding accessibility so vets with mobility issues could get around to the memorials, things like that.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, Mark, did you want to add anything? We talked a little bit about the master plan to make everything.
Yeah, well, I just want to, I had to take the call because that was Frank Ortner. Uh, we had a meeting scheduled for tonight to look at what we hope to be pretty much the final plan. A lot of hard work, but the Ed Torkoff, the landscape architect, is not feeling well.
Ah,
So, and that was the primary reason for our meeting. We had other things in there, but that's the primary. So we're going to reschedule it. It's frustrating because it's not easy to reschedule these meetings with everybody's agenda
yeah, yeah.
there and room availability at the Borough Hall. So I feel like I spend more time on that than on the actual
I
planning.
completely
Um,
understand.
but
Yeah.
but
Totally.
yeah, we've made some really good headway, I think. And Lynn was there as well in that, and Hugo was in one of the earlier meetings. I think the key thing here is that the theme is to establish that memorial grounds with what's the right word? With the right uh, attitude about how valuable it is to our history,
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
establish signage that reflects that. Because right now there's hardly any signage to let you know what you're going to. Make it more available to the general public, including people that have disability and
Hmm.
can enjoy it. And with the Heritage Center, it's really going to be elevated as a site to enjoy. So,
Mhm.
and last for the next several decades that people can
Hmm.
do anniversaries 100 years from now,
Right,
basically.
right.
All right. So that's the general thinking of the committee right now,
Mhm.
I would say.
So,
Um,
it all sounds great, and I think that you just have a nudge Chris to call me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If worst comes to worst, Jim actually lives around the corner from my house. I could,
oh,
knock on
that's
his
like
door and
Rob
say,
Williams to me.
He does. I did not notice this morning whether or not his car was there, though. So
I have
start
to tell you
stalking
how
him.
he puts an enormous amount of time,
He does.
Mm,
He
and he's
does.
got a
yeah.
full-time job. So
I know.
I have so much respect for all the organization that he has to do, particularly now with where we
Yeah.
are and the anniversaries and everything.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
and I'm really happy to hear about Hugo and Lynn working on Dare to Declare. I think it's a really strong message, particularly now where we are as a country, and
Mhm.
uh, and we're in such a special location to make that declare.
Mhm.
Um, with the burial site and
Hmm.
and yeah, the remembrance is extremely strong,
Yeah,
with that
Mhm.
site. So,
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Heather, we've been working on a lot of different things.
Yeah, so I put a couple things in the chat. They're out of order here a little bit. The one I'll first point you to is the one that is the Google Doc. That is the community bulletin board that you're all used to seeing. It has the latest information on it. The one right above it is the cccf250.org D2D educators. That is our updated educators resource material. We just updated it with all things related to how you can host a spirit week at a school. Obviously very specific, but if you know anyone who is looking for educator resources, there's all kinds of information on that. And then information from how Coatesville put together their spirit week or spirit day. The other thing I wanted to put on, and this is kind of beyond that, everything is pretty much the same as it was before. The Dare to Declare resources continue to live on the page and there's everything from the videos so you can watch them or share them with others. There's the resource guides, there's examples, there's all kinds of information. And if you're looking for coaching help or whatnot, please reach out to us. We can hook you up for that because now that we're getting closer, I think folks' needs are going to be more specific. Like, how do I get this reader ready to read words like consanguinity or magnanimity and things like that? You don't
Unalienable.
want to do that cold for sure. The last thing I want to pop in was an article that we saw in the New Yorker last week about the bicentennial and all the things that went about and the bicentennial and Beth and Emily reformatted it in a way that we can have it available for folks to read it. It's a nice read. It talks about how, many times in planning for 250, we've been dealing with politics and attitudes and perspectives and everyone being a little nervous and everything else. Well, read this article about the bicentennial. You can tell that we're not alone here. And
It's not new.
during 1976, there was a lot going on in the world then too, and it's funny to read that like the Bicentennial Commission had multiple forms before it ultimately, set forth and finished off and actually implemented their two bicentennial plans. Um, so yeah, it wasn't easy 50 years ago, and here we are again. So and
Someone
it's
wrote on
really
our
kind of interesting too. There's an article, there's a mention in there, and I never knew this existed. Apparently, there was a centennial vault that was opened at the bicentennial. So they referenced it, and that got me Googling about what exactly this was. And apparently there was a vault that was put together during the centennial and reopened in the bicentennial. So there's a lot of kind of the legends and lore of things that went on at our various milestones in our country's history and how people celebrated it and tried to celebrate it. So
someone wrote on our wish wall something that goes along with this. He said, "We've been through this before. Things will get better."
so
And I think that's something we to take to heart.
so
So, anything else for the good of the cause?
Who is the right person to contact? So for example, Janice, she wants to put together her book group, and I didn't know if that was Beth or Heather or Kim or who's
this
the
is
who's the right first point of contact?
for putting together a Dare to Declare,
Dare to
getting
declare. Yeah.
resources.
Dare to declare. Yeah, yeah, exactly that.
They can reach out to me directly and we
Okay.
can figure it out. Yeah,
If
yeah,
you reached
Okay.
out to me, I'd probably point them to the website. So I'll put the link in the
Good.
chat.
yeah.
But that's probably the best starting place.
Yeah. Well, I've
And
done,
if they
yeah,
want to
that I've,
talk about it and
yeah,
or run through,
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Heather, that's you. Thank you, Heather.
yeah.
Just lastly, here at the History Center, we will be showing the Dare to Declare from the Community Foundation. That film will be showing as part of the Westchester Film Festival. So that is
Yes.
April
It's been
20,
nominated
April 25th at 1:15 in the afternoon.
at Uptown.
Yay.
So there will be other screenings at Uptown, but that particular screening is a 250th block. So that's all
That's awesome.
local films. So it'll
Uh-huh.
include the LGBTQ plus Alliance documentary, one from the Westchester Community Westchester Community Center. Um, so
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And
yeah.
I'm covering another 250 event that day, so I won't be there, but I'll be cheering it on.
Great. Great.
And we've applied to a couple of other film festivals with the
Wonderful.
film.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
So,
exciting.
anything else?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
It's-
Yeah.
This is Margie. Sorry I was
oh my
late
gosh, we
coming
didn't
in.
realize that. So
I
we
didn't want
were,
to say iPad. Can you talk? But
yeah, we
Yeah,
thanks,
get
right,
Margie.
so
right. For
many,
some reason, I'm not showing up, but that's
yeah,
okay.
it comes up
If
as a
it,
bot practically, and we never know if it's a person or not. So
yeah, no, it's a
sorry.
person.
Hi,
I'm
Margie.
doing good. The event's coming along great. I've already sent quite a few photos to the printer and already got them back, which they're gorgeous. Even some of the ones that aren't like they're really old, and you can only do so much with those kind of photos, you
Yeah.
know. And I think we're going to probably have more than 200 definitely photos
Oh,
on
wow.
display.
This is
Uh,
the exhibit, right?
yes, the two our that's our 250
And
early
where's, just for the
commerce.
benefit of the group, where's the exhibit going to be?
It's at Hilltop House in Easttown Township,
Great.
and I think I did send it. I think we're already on the list. I think
You are.
Stacy put
You
us
are.
on the list. Okay, with the address and everything, or no?
Let's see. What was the date on it? And I can look it up right away.
April 19th from 1 to 4.
Yep, we've got it.
Okay, and it's Hilltop House, 570 Beaumont Road in Devon. I don't know if she put that on or not.
And we have that too.
There you go. And I'm trying to get a big ad campaign going for the this last 30 days before the event. You know,
Okay.
it's not too far
Great.
away and it's close enough, but it's coming along. We may have, I'm not sure yet, but we may have a group of aerials of the areas that's in question, which would be great because people love aerials,
Yeah, they do. They
you know,
absolutely do.
especially if they're
Actually,
older.
one of the most meaningful comments came from Rob Williams when he did his presentation at the Easttown Library when he talked about how many 40 farms during the Revolution
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
and now there's how many 100,000 people.
Yeah.
I know. And it's really, and of course, we're only focusing on early commerce.
Yep.
Hmm.
And when I
Yep.
mean early, that could be from the 1940s, 50s forward. You know, you have to kind of make a cutoff, you know, because
Yes.
Yeah.
whatever. And then you can't get photographs. You
Hmm.
know, that's the other, you know,
Yeah,
thing.
that's
And
Hmm.
it's a photo exhibit, so it's like, you know, like it's kind of hard, but I think we have plenty, you know, going down the four areas, and Paoli is in Tredyffrin and part of it's in Malvern, and it's so they're grouped in there too. There's not that much from I personally we have quite a few, but mostly
Mhm.
from Malvern or Willistown. It's really the older things that
Yeah,
maybe
right.
there's still remnants of it today, you
Hmm.
know, kind of thing, which is good. But Devon and Berwyn, a lot of those places are gone, but they're going to be representative, you know,
Oh, that's
represented, you know.
Okay.
And there's a few things that I really wanted from my time growing up here, because I've been in this area a long time, that I couldn't find photographs of. I'm like,
mm,
darn, you know, like
right, right.
so I'm trying. It may be a few last minutes or something, you know, going on, but so
Good.
we're
Well,
we're in a good
thank you for
place.
your efforts. Really appreciate those.
Well, I thought, in the winter, what do you have to do? You know, but I'm glad the sun is out and the bulk of it, as far as collecting the photographs and sending them off and then getting them back, is done. So the next phase now is the odd things that, usually crop up that you got to handle and all that kind of
Right,
thing, like how
right.
to set the room up and all that kind of
Of
stuff. So,
course, of course.
so it's coming along.
Well, I'm
Great.
glad you said something, Margie.
Yeah,
Nice to
so am
hear your
I.
voice.
I'm sorry I missed the last one, but I was deep in scans.
Okay. All right, everyone.
That's good. Well, we'll keep you posted. Our next one is April something. Let's see. Where are we at? And by then I think some of us will be right in the thick of it with 250. Yeah, our next one's April 13th.
Oh, that's just right before our event. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there was questions about how to, how to get the word out to folks. We'll continue to try to help with that. We do repost on social media if we see events going on. But I think the events continuing to use the events calendars that exist. I know they're tough. If we hear more resources for this, we'll definitely share them.
Oh, that'd be great.
So
I almost jumped through into my phone when I saw the Vista today, all the 250 stuff happening downtown.
oh
Ah.
I was like,
yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
so, all righty,
so
people.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
Take
thank
care.
you all. Take
Take
care now.
care.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.